Hello and welcome to Chaotic Neutral Games. We're back. It's been a week. It almost didn't happen today as well because, it's been a week. How are you all doing?
It's really good.
Yeah.
Excited.
Enjoying the weather.
Still.
No, it's too hot.
Too hot. Too much sun.
I've spent 6 months complaining that it's too cold, and that's too hot.
Did you have at least a week where you were like, "This is good"?
No, because it went from raining and cold to like blazing hot.
And now it's neutral but humid, which is just not fair.
No,
I mean, it's still like 21 degrees around here, so it's not too bad.
it was 27 here.
This is the most
I'm
English
in the
start
north.
to a session ever.
Sorry, yeah. I've been enjoying the weather. It's been nice. I had a long weekend, the bank holiday weekend. I took 2 days off, and I sat in the park for 5 days and read. It was great.
Nice. No one did it this week.
Yeah. I've entirely forgotten what I was going to say. It's gone. Yes, there's a solar eclipse on Thursday. It's
Oh,
worth having a 38% at the highest peak, at least where I am. But have a look. Project it on a wall and watch it. I bought some special things because I've never looked at the sun directly.
Maybe the temperature will be nice enough for 10 minutes that Rox will be happy with it as well.
I wouldn't count on it.
There's a slim band either side.
Yeah.
Like when it gets to 38, that's too cold. But anyway. We will be doing a recap after we see the titles. So, without further ado, let's jump back into the Ninth World. And welcome back. Last we left off was 2 weeks ago, so I'm going to have to struggle to remember what happened. As I remember it, it was mostly figuring out what you were going to do on the route. You were travelling through places, shopping, chatting, training, figuring out a little bit of mystery. You figured that Merrin was the source of some of the oddities and ciphers stopping working. And Letty decided to take Merrin under her wing a little bit. I'm not sure how much of it was decided or how much it was thrust upon you, but yeah, trying to figure out if Merrin can control, and if so, how. What else did you do? You trained some combo moves. I remember somebody shooting like plants out in the desert and somebody reflecting. I can't remember the details, but
There was
I wouldn't
some
worry about
collateral
it.
damage involved, but we got there in the end.
yeah. A little bit of tinkering. You made something, I believe, a cipher or two, and you rolled really well. I seem to remember. There was some
Yes.
powerful stuff.
Dimensional trap. Hello.
You stayed a night or two in Yoshul, this shifting, moving city of tents. People arriving and leaving, the streets changing day to day. Letty making some money with a little shell game that was floating in midair, and pushing some commerce to the caravan, so as not to to piss
Everyone's
off your
got
hosts.
really, really nice necklaces now. Some really nice bracelets
Everyone has really nice
that I
necklaces.
definitely bought legally and above
Absolutely.
board.
No urchins this time to steal from you, though.
My one
I managed to
weakness.
resist for one session. And then from Yoshul, you went on, carrying on with your chats along the way, until you saw in the distance the Dream Titans, these huge pteropods, these massive pyramid-like creatures with hundreds, maybe even thousands of scuttling legs underneath. About half dozen of them leaving behind this trail of ichor, which Matilda says can be scooped up and turned into an elixir. The town that follows them wouldn't be too happy about that, but she's timed it perfectly, so you can be in and out before they arrive and set down.
What could go wrong?
Nothing.
I'll tell you what can go wrong.
Foolproof.
I was going to say it's foolproof, but obviously it's not.
Yes, but the Iron Wind cannot be counted on. There's no way to predict where it goes. It's almost like it's got a mind of its own, but completely unpredictable. And unfortunately, it was heading directly in your direction. The gem flashing on the side of the caravan alerted you to it, and so a frantic few moments of planning, packing up, getting everything in the caravans, and heading straight towards the Dream Titans. I've got all the rolls from last time, so...
Oh no! Because I got a nat 1!
Oh yes, you did.
Oh, baby. Oh, no.
But don't worry too much about that, because the caravan, the floating platforms underneath are fired up. The Calyptora G'd up into some kind of speed. They can't go too fast, but they've got a little burst of speed when they need it. And the caravan down the dunes towards these huge things. It's not too far away. And then it's further away because these things are much larger than you thought. As you get closer and closer, the wind following behind you, they just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until you realize that these scuttling legs that look almost like centipede legs, or millipede legs, sorry, are a couple of stories tall each. So my question is, what were you planning to do when you got there?
I don't think we thought that far ahead.
No, I don't think so either.
Hiding.
You can
Hiding?
see these huge pyramid things with the legs. The ichor is mostly being put down from the back of it, but the underneath is kind of sticky and dripping.
Good. That's ideal for...
Remind. Oh, go on.
No, I was just saying that's ideal for, us hiding under the legs, really, isn't it?
As we get close, looking up as to where the legs join the Dream Titan, what do we see? Is it like is there a way in up the legs?
A way into the Dream Titan.
Yeah. Or do the legs just kind of like stop and they're sealed or something?
It's like a bug with a big shell.
Okay.
It's the underbelly. What were you going to say, Helen?
I was gonna ask you to remind me about the Iron Wind.
Yes.
I know it's deadly, but I've forgotten
Possibly
exactly.
The Iron Wind changes things at the molecular level. So you can see the kind of tornado-like thing heading towards you, leaving behind a trail of glass, metal, synth, plant matter, flesh, gas. It's randomly changing things at the molecular level. It's not good, but it's possible to survive.
Is it nanites that are doing it?
Yes,
Is that
yes,
what
it
it
is.
is? Yeah,
Very
okay.
much rogue nanites. They randomly move around the beyond.
And is it definitely heading right for us?
Oh yeah, yeah. It seemed to actually change direction as you started moving away.
Oh.
Start moving towards you specifically.
Hey, we're being stalked by a tornado. Great.
Good. Good.
How-
This is about right for us.
How flat is the roof of the caravan? Is it like canvas?
So yeah, it's the classic Oregon Trail curved tops. They're covered in a kind of synth thing which you can click on and off between transparent and white.
Would it be possible to use it as sort of a platform to set something up?
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure who has the environment suppressor, but I would like to try and launch some gazers at this thing and see if we can get the tornado to stop.
I do not. I used to have it, but I do not have it.
It's in a bit of the caravan somewhere. You definitely have it with you.
We definitely put it on the caravan. I have it. I have the information about it as well. It's 1 meter wide, 2 meters long. But that's going to send out a whole load of gazer things, isn't it?
Rather them than us.
Gazers versus tornadoes.
Yeah, that's true.
Who will win?
Well,
You decide.
Roll.
If you're saying there's like ichor dripping from like down the legs, effectively, I mean, I'm thinking ichor might be quite protective. It's certainly an additional layer. I reckon we try and go between the. How many legs? Like, how much space is there between each leg?
A few meters.
Are they moving fast enough that we can?
No, these things move pretty slowly, pretty like glacial.
But we could get a caravan between the legs, could we?
With it would be a bit of a maneuver, but yes.
I think. Sorry, Cleege thinks. Cleege thinks. I think between the legs might be the safest, because then we've got legs around us. We've got ichor to maybe sop up some of the windy bit, and then we've got massive Titan thing above us. Doesn't seem a bad idea. Maybe a bit icky, but hey,
Icky's better.
we
than
wanted
being...
ichor. Maybe this is a way to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have we seen
and
anybody
then-
fix the ichor?
Yeah, and then we can just be like, oh, we were just trying to survive. We weren't trying to steal your ichor. Other than the fact that we have obviously stolen a whole bunch of their ichor.
Stolen if it drips
Borrowed.
on us. We're not borrowed either. It's donated. It's technicality.
Donated unwillingly.
What is the town doing? Because presumably as they must be able to see the wind too. And as we are going towards the Tree Titans and the wind is following us, what are the townspeople doing?
Give me a perception, see if you can have a glance over in the distance. You can see without a roll that they've stopped.
Yeah.
So
Can
the
I
motorcycle club
can I
is
ask
going
Mazia
past.
what she's seen? Since she's actually the perception woman.
Yeah. I'll happily have a look.
Yeah, absolutely, go for it.
Thank you.
So, trained in perception. And that's a 17.
A 17, yeah. So you can see that they have got a kind of a system to cover their town. They've got several layers of canvas-like material, which they are shoving over all the buildings that they've been dragging along. You can see them doing one layer, then another, then another, then another, separate layers.
And
That's
they've done
smart.
this loads of times before, so this obviously works.
Presumably.
People though, if they cover up the town, but what about the people?
They are getting underneath the canvas. They are
Oh, okay.
they're covering it and then crawling under, and you can see them
Okay.
like pulling the sheet and pegging it down from inside.
What are they
Okay,
doing over
cool.
there? How are they getting out of it? Where exactly am I from?
Get off my land.
We've had problems with West Country accents recently as well.
How far away are they from us? We wouldn't.
Oh, so they're quite far. It's Mazia's keen eyes that manages to see this.
They seem to be prepared. They've thought about this, which we haven't. We didn't know. But
Anything we can copy, or
have you got a giant tarpaulin?
I can make energy barriers.
How big?
10 foot by 10 foot. But I can make a whole bunch of them.
That
I
might
guess.
work. I mean,
Pinch.
can the Iron Wind transform energy?
Only
Joe?
one way to find out.
Do
Kleegee's
it.
going to direct Rhodes to head under,
Mm-hmm.
between the legs and under the Titans, and then
Absolutely.
I'm hoping Letty will provide additional support.
Okay, yeah, so Rhodes happily taking your orders. Well, maybe not happily, stressfully taking your orders. And guides the thing under. There's a couple of close shaves with the legs as they start moving before Rhodes realises and pull through, but you manage to get all three underneath this thing, the dripping kind of almost echoing around you as the wind, as you get further in, dies away a little bit, but you can still see out from under the legs the wind approaching.
I'm gonna start laying barriers down.
Okay.
It doesn't say I can't create more than one. It just says it costs me 3+ intellect, and it's a level 2 barrier. So I'm going to start laying down level 3 barriers, which requires a point of intellect for each of them. And I'm going to lay down as many as I can.
Yes, so I had a thought about this. I'm going to say that for every barrier beyond the first, you're going to have to use a level of effort.
Okay.
So you're keeping control of it, basically.
Okay. I can spend 3 levels of effort. So I guess that would be 3 barriers max.
So 3 levels of effort would be 1 plus 3, so it would be 4
okay.
barriers max.
So I can lay down 4 barriers.
And they're 10 by 10 feet, so that's what? A 10-foot cube, basically, if you're not bothered about the top.
Should we be bothered about the top?
I don't know, you tell me.
I mean, probably we're
no.
more worried about the top than the bottom. If we do it sort of like off the ground, we do
Yeah,
it
but-
touching the ground.
We're only going to have sides, aren't we? So yeah.
So inside, as you go in and see the dripping, above you can see like the underside of this huge insect-like creature. Does kind of bow down a little bit, but you're still 2 stories up before you're hitting that.
I'm going to focus everything sort of behind us then. I'm going to create like two-layer things sort of at the back of the caravan to try and stave it off.
Yeah, absolutely. Easy enough to do, these walls of energy. Remind me what this looks like.
So there's sort of like a scintillating, transparent, like sort of field of gravitational stress, basically. So this sort of scintillating, like sort of a rainbow prism.
Almost
things
heat
are sort of warps.
haze-like.
Yeah, some of heat haze-like, but you can't see through it, so you kind of look at it expecting it to be transparent, and everything beyond it is sort of warped, like a funhouse mirror type deal.
That's
It
very
sort of glows.
Yeah. So yeah, the Rhodes pulls up the caravans behind these, and Matilda gets everyone out and to the other side of the caravans, just putting more stuff between them and the Iron Wind. Is there anything else you'd like to do before the wind hits you?
Do I know anything about nanites?
You know quite a lot about nanites.
I'd hope so, because they are like person-made, right?
Yeah.
See, because I can turn things off, but I can only turn like thing off at short range.
Yeah, you can turn machines off.
Machines, yeah, but nanites are not classified as machines?
Not in the sense of your power. No, nanites in Numenera are everywhere. They are throughout the world, which is what allows nanos to do their thing. They manipulate the nanites.
True.
But this is a particular rogue collection of nanites. Not really a machine in itself.
Okay.
Do you think setting up the environment suppressor might be actually a wise idea?
It'll at least distract them for a little while and
Yeah, it
possibly
can't-
dilute the effects of it.
It can't hurt, right? Right.
And it is an artifact, so the odds of it shutting down are 1 in 6.
Yeah.
So that's it's not like we lose it necessarily.
Right, well, let's stick it in the ground, and I guess I can turn that on and off remotely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we can put it a little bit of a way and then take cover under the Dream Titan and then activate it.
Cool. Yeah. So where are you putting this environment? Are you putting it near the caravans? Or are you putting it outside the Dream Titan?
I guess outside the Dream Titan.
Well,
You know,
does it? But it's hold on.
do you want to get the geysers to kind of mop up the Iron Wind before it gets to us?
Yeah. See, I mean, it depends. I guess, Ed, it depends on, like, does it need to know where it's like protecting? Because if it's protecting a certain area,
Then it
would
has a
need to be by
radius
us.
around it that it protects.
Okay. Yeah.
As long as the Iron Wind travels through that, then it should at least mop up some of the wind.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
Let's
not,
do that.
it'll start getting rid of some of this ichor and we'll be in trouble.
That's true. That's true.
Okay. So setting it up just outside the Dream Titan.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So easy enough to do. Again, hands are shaking in like a couple of moments where things don't quite fit in the right place. I would like you to roll the artifact die for that artifact. I think for this one it's a D10.
Would you like?
Whoever's setting it up.
So,
You're setting it up.
I think Trent is.
so D10.
Yeah.
Yeah, D10.
Number 6.
You're fine. This thing will work again as you stick the legs in, extend the pole up, and flick on a couple of switches and charge back underneath.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah. The thing starts whirring as you move away, and by the time you get back to the caravan, the first geyser has popped out and started floating. Actually, I wouldn't go to the Iron Wind first because there is ichor around, so it will find one of the sources of ichor and start to plug it up. Interestingly.
When you say a source of ichor, so in the Dream Titan.
So, it's not going inside the Dream Titan, it is like where the ichor is leaking through, it is going to try and plug that up.
Okay.
A second one comes out, and a few of them start doing this. And then they start heading out to the Iron Wind.
And when they're plugging up the ichor, is it with that same sort of tough synth that they did the tents with?
Yes.
Okay, that's extra protection. Possibly constipating a Dream Titan, but you know, I guess.
That should have been the title of the episode. Alright.
The
Other
Dream
than that, I
Titan-
guess we just hunker down underneath.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The Dream Titan has stopped. It has stopped moving, and you can feel it, like, noticing the Iron Wind. The top shifts slightly as it turns to look at it. And then it moves forward, and then starts to lower.
What?
Oh,
Um,
I'm
What do you
guessing
do?
we're underneath it.
You're
at this
underneath
point.
it?
Yeah.
um,
Can we see how its legs sort of fold, and if there's a way that we can sort of like if we think there's going to be any gaps.
Give me an
sort
intellect
of-
task. Intellect roll.
Can
Just
I help
probably
with
a
that?
level
Because
3.
I want to find if we can just lie flat
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. Make a roll. Absolutely.
I think I'm going to put a level of effort in. But I have an edge
Okay.
of 3.
So with Trenton's help and with the level of effort, it comes down to a difficulty 1. So 3 or more.
It's an 8. Oh no, it's a 9.
It will be close. You think like the edge of the shell hangs down a little bit, and if it wants to put that on the ground, there will be a gap enough for you all to be there. The caravans might have trouble.
I think we're probably more concerned. Mizia is definitely more concerned about being alive.
Okay.
Obviously, ideally, we'd get the caravan as well. But if it's a choice between, being alive or not being alive, she's going to go with being alive.
The glacially slow pace of this thing coming down. You have a few, maybe like a minute or something before it actually reaches the caravans.
Okay, roads. Take the is there enough space for the calypsos? The calypsos lie down.
The calypsos are fine. Yeah.
Okay. Tell us, Rhodes. Rhodes, we need to get the caravan out. The calypsos down, and everybody else lie down as fast as you can to the ground.
Caravan
and
out.
hopefully, it's got to be. Otherwise, it's going to get squished as this thing comes down.
Right.
I'll help him as much as if I can.
Where are we putting the caravans out?
Anywhere, just out from underneath the Dream Titan, quickly. Out the side.
Yeah, forward of where we could, because presumably we've gone in on the short side, as in on the
back.
We've gone in on. Hold on, is it a pyramid all the way through? No, it's a.
So it is a tetrahedron. So it's a pyramid base, a triangle base, and a pyramid on top.
Not a
if the
triangular
wind's coming
prism.
from behind us.
Not a triangular
we're going to
prism.
go. He's going to go off at an angle, like the shortest distance he can to get the caravan out.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to need some might rolls for those of you helping get the caravans out. There are 3 of them. And Rose will do his best, and everyone will help. But I'm going to need rolls for everyone. See if we can get it done in time.
And put 2 levels of might in, because 2 levels of effort in.
I will also put a level of effort in.
I will help and do a level of effort, and this means it costs me 1 in speed as well because of my all brains no brawn trait.
Yes,
I
indeed.
got 15.
Ooh, I got 16.
Oh, nice.
And that was with a couple of levels of effort.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, I'm putting into levels 2 as well. I got 8.
Okay.
I did get a 1.
Okay.
Good.
So, 3 of the caravans. You have 3 caravans. 2 of them you managed to roll out. The last one you don't get out in time as the shell comes down slowly. Natural 1, unfortunately, means that it does stay under the Dream Titan as the shell slams down. The top of the caravan crunches. The ribs of it snap in, and a few of the things inside get a bit crushed. It's not as bad as you feared, but definitely the top of this caravan is broken. And looking at it, the wheels have also crunched.
That's a future problem.
Yeah.
So other than that, I suppose everyone's just lying flat, getting. I guess the legs aren't moving, so we don't need to worry about being
The legs aren't
trampled,
moving.
so we can just lie flat and enjoy the protection.
So there is enough space to stand up.
Okay.
Like the taller of you, George has to stoop a little, but the rest of you can stand up.
And how protected are we under there now?
You can't.
Sounds pretty good.
You can't hear the wind pretty much at all. Like the occasional large gust you can here, but
This is
just
fine.
the thing dripping down.
We guess
gonna-
we'll wait it out. The Dream Titans know what they're doing,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, we'll just wait until the Dream Titans get back up, I guess, and be ready to spring into action.
mhm.
There's a lot of
is there
Ica
any-
around us, right?
I was just about to say, is there any way we could use this time collecting some Ica?
So Matilda did identify you the synth kind of boxes she was going to use to collect the Ica, but Matilda is out of it. Like, she is like with her kids, you know, mother hen protecting. But if you want to
I'm
start collecting some Ica, by all means.
I'm going to go and talk to like Matilda and the kids,
Hmm.
and just to try and provide some sort of reassurance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kleegee's been through tough times, especially when he was young, and he has an understanding of, you know, the impact something like this can have. So he's going to be there, sort of reassuring him, being realistic and truthful, but reassuring them that, you know, we're doing the best we can, and you know, it will be up to, well, technically the nanites, I guess, as to what will become of us.
Yeah, give me some kind of role for this. Definitely is pleasant because you're trying to calm them down and keep them.
Oh, yay, specialized. Excellent. Yeah, I guess that's what it comes down to, isn't it? Specialized. Intelligence.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got a edge of 3, so I get a free effort then, don't I?
Yeah, if you want to put a level effort in,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yep. So 17.
17. Yeah, your words are of great comfort as the glow globes start clicking, everyone lighting up, so you've got a bit to see by.
Mazia will also, she'll like touch a couple of like things as well, in sort of like right in the center and probably on 2 on the edge, and just light up a whole bunch of things just to provide. And it's like she's specifically chosen like a very slightly orangey glow, so it's like a very warm, it's not like a bright light or anything, it's a very like soothing glow today.
Nice. And yeah, the kind of slightly panicked breathing of Matilda eventually returns to normal as she takes in her surroundings, realizes Ironwind doesn't seem to be able to get in here. You can hear it now kind of buffeting the outside of this Dream Titan. Doesn't seem to be... From the inside, you can't tell if it's doing anything. But none of it has made its way through, so you seem alright. Yeah, the kids are alright. They are not as panicked as Matilda was.
Yeah.
And Merrin is actually kind of just looking around, just pretty entranced by the whole thing.
He's a weird kid.
You say that. Do you say
But-
that?
Oh,
Out
can you say it
loud?
loud?
Do you?
Yeah.
Not so that he could hear.
Okay.
Like, she wouldn't like walk up to him and be like, "You're a weird kid." But you know, she has spent some time with him, I think. Actually,
Oh yeah,
'cause,
there was a
yeah,
session where you were away, where your character spent a lot of time with it.
that's what I was thinking. But yeah, I think she probably doesn't quite know what to make of him. He's just not like other children that she spent time with. So yeah, she might sort of mutter to either to Trenton or to Letty, probably Trenton, because Letty seems to have spent a lot of time with him, and she doesn't want to offend Letty if like they're friends.
That's okay, Mazia. I was a weird child as well. We all grow out of it. It's absolutely okay. He'll be He'll be fine. He'll be like me. So nothing to worry about. I'd say let him to his weirdness and everything will be fine.
Probably. Or I'll stab someone.
I didn't. Well, no, I didn't. This does remind me of the time when I was 14, though, the Iron Wind thing. When I did trigger a robotic storm, which managed to strip all the fuel for like maybe 5 miles around for about 2 months.
Oh.
Definitely got into a little bit of trouble there. Got called weird, but it's okay. We learned a lot about it. We learned a lot about not to go into that machine again, not to press those buttons again. No, Merrin will be okay. He just needs to explore his talents, and there'll be a few mishaps on the way, but he'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
Hmm.
Be fine.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
Probably.
It's nice in here. It's quiet.
Behind you in the distance, you could just sort of see Letty sort of with her hedge magic, just like sort of summoning orbs of ichor, just countless,
Cool.
like blobs of like she's already like. She's like, right, business. Sort of in the background.
Just like.
And once like Matilda has sort of calmed down, I'm like gonna pass out the containers to her and the kids as well to act as like a distraction, so you know they can all collect it. How is Rhodes, Nimchek, and Philo?
Oh.
Rhodes is taking care of the Caliptor. He is very, very focused on them, making sure they're all okay, making sure like they are at least a little calm, fed, watered, brushing them down. They aren't singing as they might when they've got some downtime, but they don't. They're agitated, but they don't seem overly agitated. Rhodes is doing a good job keeping them calm, and in return, that's keeping him calm.
Yeah.
Nimchek's gone a bit manic. Nimchek and George are like going through like Matilda's plans and figuring out exactly what they need to do, the procedure they need to follow, all of that jazz, and figuring it out. And Philo is pretty much hiding in the caravan.
Oh.
The one that
Been squished.
yeah, a little bit squished. But he's like gone into the caravan and taken cover
Wriggled
there.
his way in.
Well, if he comes up with a snack during this, I'm going to be mightily impressed.
No. So yeah, George and Nimchek help you hand out the buckets. These, like I said, the little cubes of synth with a lid that gets put on and then it seals itself. So you've got a little pile of boxes and a little pile of lids handed out, and people start filling them slowly. Like a bucket under a leaky roof. There's just a few laid out on the ground.
We know
Letty's
it does,
just sort of sat sort of in the middle of like a row of like 5 buckets and just like streams just sort of like coming down around her. Hedge magic can clean a small area, which is very funny.
Absolutely.
To me, that I'm using it to imply to I'm going to clean the Stream Titan's legs.
There are also a couple of gazers which are still flitting around, sealing up the legs.
Oh, there's some of them got trapped underneath.
Yeah, they came in to clean up the ichor, and they are going to clean up the ichor.
Hopefully they don't clean it up too fast. Do we know what the ichor does yet?
You don't? Matilda just said she can sell it for a lot.
Frenton, can you tell what this is? Missy gonna like poke it a little bit with her finger. She's gonna poke it with her finger. I'd like to say that she'd poke it with a stick, but she wouldn't.
I would like
She'd
to
just
take
poke
2
it.
experience points, please.
Ah,
Yay.
of course you would. I will give the other one to Clegy for reassuring everyone
Aw.
so well.
Nice. I would like you to roll the one die you don't have out, a d8, if you happen to have one. I'm sorry.
I said, I was like, Ed was like, oh, we probably won't need anything other than a d20 today, and I was like, okay, I won't get one out. Ed
Yeah,
lied to
I
me.
miscounted and I thought there were 6 in this, but no, there are 8.
That is a d8. That's a 7.
A 7.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah. So put your finger to the liquid and it kind of reaches up and covers your fingers a bit, then soaks in.
Can I light up my finger?
Yeah, absolutely. Just as normal.
Yeah, Trenton, can you tell what this is? It's gone into my finger.
It's gone in.
It
into your
has
finger.
gone into my finger. It's probably please don't tell Clegy.
Is your finger well moisturized? Is that what it is? Is that maybe that's maybe it's cosmetic.
Does it
I'm gonna-
feel well moisturized?
I mean, you've been in a desert for a few days. Well, a couple of weeks actually. By this point, probably got quite dry skin at this point. So.
She's always had dry skin. She does not look after it.
Yeah, and you are a sun summoning, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Driest skin. Not on that finger though. I'm gonna scan. Maybe just look into a pot that someone hasn't sealed yet, and
Yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
scan the ichor, see if I can figure out what it's made of. Something about its properties.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as you do a scan of this, it's a confusing result because it seems to be several results and it seems to change. The scan takes a few seconds, and over those few seconds, it changes 5 or 6 times. Some are sort of familiar; they look like healing injectors you've seen before.
Okay.
Some are a little less familiar, but seem suited to attaching to neurons in the brain. Some are completely unfamiliar. It seems to have several properties kind of in succession.
I'm not sure what this does. Possibly a healing ointment? Possibly. I'm not sure. It keeps shifting. It's more than one. It's kind of Trenton would know. Metamorphologic properties.
Metamorphological, absolutely.
Metamorphological. Thank you. Metamorphological.
Completely made it word, but it makes sense.
Well.
It is not weird.
It absorbs very well into your skin.
Your fingers are a little stained. This kind of blue-green of the ichor. It's dark, but almost oil-like.
But it's not moving. It's not like traveling up her hand or anything.
Actually, yeah, it is a
You
bit.
may need to chop up your hands here, but it might not get that far. Let me have a look, and can I scan again? Scan the hands. See
Absolutely.
if it's changing anything. Hold on. Would my scan do that? I think my scan's mainly for like.
Yeah, you'll get very surface level information with your
Yeah,
scan.
I just want to see if it's changing anything compared to the rest of the fingers.
It will ping a match to one of the things you scanned as it was changing in the box
Yeah.
to something that is suited to the brain, something connected there. Doesn't seem to be making any effect on the flesh, it just seems to be moving under the skin.
Well, this can't be bad, right?
No. I mean, we look at it this way. This stuff sells for a lot of money. A lot of people use it. It must be perfectly safe. It's been tested by lots of people, and they keep on coming back for more. It's fine.
Seriously, it's fine.
Can I ask maybe that you just sit down and I will watch you while this happens. And I'm going to take out my notepad and I'm just going to watch Mizia as this thing works its way through her system. I'm not going to say anything about neurons, but I'm going to watch for any like obvious psychological changes.
Absolutely. So while you're doing that, what's everyone else doing? Just collecting?
Buckets float backwards, forwards from the caravan.
Absolutely.
Streams of blue globs of horrible wet slime, snail juice, sort of float around. Letty's very focused.
Letty, it's absolutely fine. Nothing to worry about at all. But maybe don't get any on your skin.
What? Don't
It's
get
fine.
any on...
It's just
I'm blue.
You're
because
blue.
of that. It's just a little bit stainy. Apart from that,
Just because of the stains?
sure. I'm going to give you a little wink. Sure.
Yeah. After about 2 minutes of sitting still for Trenton, you can see that Mazia is like, "Can I go now?" Like,
Does
you
anything
know,
happen yet?
you can sort of see her like rocking, like, you know, clearly looking. She's
Yes,
not. She's not very good
you
at
can go
sitting.
come back and check in every couple of minutes, just in case. Not just in case, for science.
As you let Mazia go, you see that the tips of Mazia's fingers are actually returning to a normal colour.
Okay.
It seems to be like a band of it moving up.
A band of it moving up.
Up the arm. It doesn't seem to be like dyeing the flesh, and there only seems to be a
Okay.
limited amount, basically, is what I'm trying to say. You can
Okay.
identify that fairly easily.
Okay.
This is fine.
And it's fine.
It's fine.
And at that rate, I think it might take about 5 or 10 minutes to work towards like the brain, the spine column, if that's where it's heading.
Maybe best part of an hour. It is moving very slowly, but yeah.
Okay. In that case, don't worry, Mazia. I think you're fine.
PG's basically gonna be with Matilda and the family, but he will look over at the others at one point and obviously see Letty being incredibly industrious, and you know, sort of have a little smile internally, and you know, and basically will. I don't know if he'd do it. Yeah, he would do like a cheesy like thumbs up to all of them, like "you okay" type thing.
Letty
But
turns
yes,
back.
you-
You can see like dollar bill signs in her eyes. She gives you a thumbs up back.
Oh yeah, I forget we get percentages of this, don't we? Please, you hadn't even thought about.
You notice everyone being very careful. After Trenton's warning, everyone is being extra
Stain your
careful.
fingers.
Except you, Clegy, notice one of them isn't. Merrin.
Of course, it's Marin.
Merrin is watching it collect in a bucket, kind of reaching out a hand, then
Does Mazia spot this as well?
yeah, I think probably.
If so, she's gonna go up to him and be like, "This is what happened when I touched it."
He signs back, I know, but what if I touched it?
I have no idea. I feel I should recommend that you not touch it, but I want to see what happens when you touch it. Don't take that as advice to touch it, but it would be interesting. You could touch it. I'm a terrible adult.
When Clegy sees Mazia and Merrin discussing this, he's like, Letty, could you just come and, you know, supervise this chat, please?
I'm being supervised by a criminal.
The criminal that you
How
had
the
charged
title-
Yeah,
to
exactly.
watch. I guess Letty sort of floats backwards. She's still concentrating on what she's actually doing, but she just goes into the physical vicinity, and then sort of the hedge magic is going on. So she's just sort of like absent-mindedly like, what? What's happening? What am I doing? You guys all right? What's going on?
Fine.
Merrin looks at you, just goes, pointing at the Ica.
Has anyone else touched it? Do we know what it does? I wasn't paying very much attention.
I touched it.
The band's
Wasn't
that
out
on
here
your-
now.
Oh, no, it's gone. Oh, I think it's moved. Look, it's up there.
That was on your hand earlier. Right?
Yes.
And now it's not. See, my hand's
That's-
fine. See?
Where is it moving to?
I think Trenton said my brain.
I didn't say that.
Oh,
No,
I
I,
dunno.
I deliberately didn't say that.
it's just going up. Seems.
Trenton?
I think it will just disperse, and I think it's fine. It might come out in the urine or something, but it's probably it's nothing to worry about. But maybe
Trenton
don't
says it's
touch
fine.
anyone or go near anyone. In fact, no, it's okay. It's okay.
You're
Where
not
is it now?
inspiring me.
Where is
with-
it now? Don't touch it. God, Letty, don't touch it. But you'll be fine, Missy. Where is it now? Merrin, don't just.
It's not moving quite that quickly, Rox. Just
Oh.
So it's about halfway up down. I think it's just going to work its way through your system, and it'll be okay.
That'll be fine.
I'm just a little concerned that. I mean, you only had a tiny amount as well. I'm a little concerned that. Well, we're under a dream titan. There's only certain places to go if it makes you a little bit. In the meantime, but we might not be getting out of here for a couple of hours. Who knows? So, I think by the time we get out of here, it'll all have passed.
So, Marin, probably don't touch it. Also, this stuff is basically money, which means that we want as much of it as possible. So if we waste any of it eating it with our hands, so to speak, that's money that we're not earning.
Unless
And
that was a way of smuggling it, in which case it might be a useful thing to know.
Hold on. Now hold on a minute.
As long as we can get it back at the end.
Oh, right. And it'll be all urine-y. Nope, don't like that idea anymore.
Probably not as easy to sell.
Not as easy to sell urine elixir. No one wants to drink that. Nobody
You
wants to
tell
drink that.
them. You wouldn't tell them that's this.
I don't want to sell people urine elixir. I've been a con artist. I've been a thief. I've never sold people their own wee. My wee.
Yeah, it wouldn't be their wee. It would be someone else's wee, which is obviously much better.
Bit of flavouring. It's going to be blue. They won't know.
Yeah.
It's Dream Titan elixir.
Oh dear God. No, Merrin, don't touch it. That is my recommendation.
I concur.
When Clegy sees such a conflab happen, now bearing in mind there's four of you having quite an animated discussion about something, Cleegy's actually going to come over and see what's happening and just be like, are you all okay?
We've decided it's bad to drink urine.
Was that ever quite? I mean, it's not always bad to drink
yeah,
urine.
Merrin
Sometimes
signs
you-
survival situation.
Yes, indeed.
All right, Bear
Like,
Grylls. Jeez.
Those
Are
ancient
you
texts.
talking about? you talking about Bear Grylls, that ancient hunter survival? Wow, I have heard of this legend.
The werebear.
But yes, but why are you talking about drinking people's urine?
Open
Smuggling
conversation.
options. Don't worry about it. Sorry, I'm distracted. I'm doing stuff at this. This is very difficult keeping this up and talking at the same time. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna poke Mazir's arm where the blue thing is.
Okay.
Anything happen? Does it come out to my hand?
No. No, it doesn't actually do anything. It doesn't feel any different to you at all. It's yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, what is that on your arm? You seem to have got some, I don't know, dirt or something? Strange mark.
So, how long do you think this stream titan is going to be down for? Surely the Iron Wind was moving so quickly. Surely it will pass fairly soon.
Well, I mean, it did look like it was following us. So, I mean, I don't want to sound paranoid, but if it was following us, maybe it will stay here for a while trying to get us, which I hadn't considered until now. My God, we could be down here for hours.
Look,
It will leave. It will leave. You know, it will realize it can't get us, and probably.
now that the Dream Titan is lowered, how far is the belly from us? It's like ceiling, right?
Yeah, so it's maybe like a foot to 50 centimeters above you.
Is it hard? Is it like a carapace? Ding, ding, ding.
It's softer than like the shell on the outside, but there's some heft to it. It's like leathery.
Okay.
Yes. Well, maybe we should. I'm just gonna go and find Philo. Maybe he'd be able to whip us up something to eat since we may be here a number of hours. We're okay on lighting, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of glow globes and a light mage.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Carry on though. Yeah. Apparently, try not to touch it is what I've heard from the others. So, don't know what that's about, but I guess we'll find out at some point.
Oh,
All right.
someone else has
I'll
touched
find
it.
Philo.
Sure.
Sorry.
Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Say hi to Philo.
Will do.
Bye.
You go to the caravan where you last left Philo and find that he's found his way into the snacks.
Why is he stress eating?
Philo is stress eating. He's
That's my
just
spirit
chewing
animal right there.
on Anine jerky. It's not even the good stuff. It's like the crap that you bought ages ago, and he's just chewing on it.
Philo, are you okay?
I have been better.
I don't think I've ever seen you eat something so simple.
It is something to do. There's nothing I can really do to help in this situation, so...
Well, interesting you should say that. I think there is. I'm suspicious we may be here for a little while yet. And I don't know about you, but I was wondering if it's possible you could conjure up some of your delicious fare for us.
I can try with the ingredients we've managed to save, but I'm not entirely sure what was in this particular cart. I just know there's. I can try.
I mean, I'm happy to stay and help you out. Maybe we can go through some stuff together I'll see what we can find. I'd love to watch you work anyway.
Oh, okay. I can try and teach you some basic technique. Yeah. Starts like rummaging through the stuff. You can tell George has been here because the contents of the cart aren't quite neatly laid out at either side. And yeah, Philo just mucks that up entirely, searching for what he's looking for. But yeah, the two of you make... You don't have most of the good stuff in this cart, but there's enough to make something filling, you know. You've got enough water and you've got heat elements and stuff. So yeah, the two of you start cooking a meal, and very quickly kind of the smell fills this area. Before it was this kind of slightly earthy, musty smell, but now there's at least some food smell trying to cover it up.
And I'll be talking to Fiona. I'll be like, you know, I know you wrote a book before, but I really think that some of the recipes you've had this time, I mean, like, I don't know what you would call it, but just like, can you imagine writing about cooking under a Dream Titan? I mean, people would lap that up.
It is a story. It is one that would sell. Yes.
It would sell, and look what I mean. And Cleety's literally going to like make a note of. He's going to get his clipboard out. He's going to make a note of like all the sort of raw ingredients that that Philo has sort of put together, and just go like, look at all these ingredients. That I mean, what is this? Is that Trenton's pet jerky? I mean, don't tell him, but that is disgusting.
It is as a base, something protein, but it gives some texture, some chew. But I need to soak it and let it stew for a while before it'll, you know.
Just amazing. And I'm just like writing down what he's doing as well. I'm just like, honestly, this page alone would make a book sell. No, who else can say they've cooked under a Dream Titan?
Would you give me a roll for morale?
Whoa.
Morale boosting.
Can I assume this is a pleasant social interaction?
Oh yes, indeed.
In which I am specialised. I take it this is an intellect thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'll have a free input as well, please. And is there anything else I can do? No, that'll do. Oh, come on. It was on an 18 and it tipped to a 4.
4 with all of your skills, though, is still good enough. I was fishing for a natural 1.
Yeah.
You.
But yeah, Philo doesn't completely return to the Philo, you know, like dancing around the place, but at least seems focused and isn't. No, is still chewing on bits of Anine jerky, but most of it is going in the pot at least.
Nothing wrong with Anine jerky.
Over the next few hours, you kind of set up camp, you pull out seats and your lights and heating elements and water, and these cubes, synth cubes, fill up pretty quickly with the amount of drips going down here, sealed up and just piled up next to the kind of camp you've made. No caravan to put it in at the moment. In fact, yes, this would happen before these few hours. The thing reaches Mazia's face, and then when it gets to Mazia's temple, disappears.
It's fine. Do I feel fine?
Yeah, at the moment.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. It's gone.
Can I?
Make
do you
an
mind if
intellect
I-
defense roll, Mazia. Someone else speaks, and in your head it is just echoing and echoing and echoing and echoing and echoing over and over and over.
It's a natural 20.
Nice. You're still going to take 1 intellect point.
That's fine.
But
Ow.
yeah,
Ow.
no, just that voice echoing and echoing and echoing. It's etched in your mind.
Mazias,
What are they saying?
Sit down.
It is that. Mazia, sit down. Mazia, sit down. Mazia, sit down. Mazia, sit down.
You're right, Mazia.
You're right, Mazia. You're right, Mazia. You're right, Mazia. You're right, Mazia.
Shh.
Why are we being quiet?
We are being quiet.
Quiet, 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 quiet.
My head.
Let me look in your eyes. Come here, come here.
Shit. She will go towards him, but clearly wincing in pain.
Okay, I'll get one of the glow globes. Put your eyes down. I'll look in your eyes. I get that she's hurting, that speaking's a really bad thing now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it becomes fairly evident after a few.
So, checking her eyes, checking her ears, checking her mouth, glands, that kind of thing. Everything seem okay?
Yeah, seems fine.
Okay.
You like click. The click doesn't echo.
Oh.
Only the words seem to. And when they're repeating in your head, they're not repeating in like the voice you heard, they're just the words repeating.
Super weird. Have I ever any stories that I've ever heard anything like this, or
Give me an intellect roll. Hindered by 1 level because you've
Yep.
got all these words echoing around.
can I negate that hindrance with steadfast, please?
Yes, you can.
Thank you very much.
And calm your mind.
That's an 18. Oh, this dice.
You've done a lot of memorization in your time. And this is
Not by choice, but yes.
not by choice. But this is very reminiscent of the memorization you've tried to do. You would repeat the thing over and over in your head until it's stuck there. And it seems that you are doing this involuntarily now. You're repeating and memorizing everything everyone says at the moment.
Oh, good.
And it is
Handy.
not an insignificant amount of your brain power doing this.
Yep. She'll just she'll sort of whisper to Trenton, "Don't let Cleege see." And
Have we got something you can plug it?
oh yeah, I'll try. Just plugging my ears help.
Yeah, if you plug your ears, like hold your hands over so you can't hear, when people say stuff, it doesn't echo.
Ah, I'm fine. This is fine.
Pretend you're
Okay.
Okay. I'm hoping it'll pass. I love this because what you could do is you could dab something that's in your hands, go to sleep, play something, or try to get to sleep, play something, and you're doing all the memorization while you're not even paying attention, or do something else. And you're going to memorize things. You just need someone to repeat them to you, or someone to say things to you once, and then it sticks in your head. This is so good. This is so useful for learning. Oh my god, I could sell it to all the kids at Vino. They would love it.
So natural 20 gets you 1 intellect damage and an involuntary like memory thing. I hate to see what happens if you fail that roll.
It's probably a good thing we don't need to find that out.
Definitely find so.
So yes, Mazia, you sat down for a a fake nap or a real nap, just a lie down, a nap. And the few hours pass, and it is a few hours kind of heading towards lunchtime, and the meal is not great, honestly. It's not Philo's best work, but it passes around, and warm food gets everyone's spirits up a little bit as the boredom starts to set in. And as the boredom starts to set in, I think that is a weird transition to a break. So go and be bored for 10 minutes and then come back and be entertained by us.
Nice.
We will see you shortly.
See you very soon.
and welcome back. You're sitting under the Dream Titan, and it's been a few hours. You've long since collected all the Ica you can carry in these synth cubes, and have just finished up the meal, the slightly mediocre meal that Philo has put together for you. And now you're just sitting and waiting.
Did Mazia sleep through the meal? Is Mazia still being asleep or feigning sleep?
Mazia?
How am I feeling? How's my head?
Every time you test it, it is still echoing.
Then she's hungry, but she might just sort of like signal to Trenton to like bring her something, and just like say sort of like mouth, just like make up an excuse, or something. And just take the food and quietly just go and sit. She might do some meditating actually, or probably prayer actually.
Make it a very long prayer.
Yeah.
Prayer. Doesn't matter how loud, if it's words.
There's your food. I don't say that. Yeah, put your bowl over, and yeah, I'll leave you to your meditation.
Back at the kind of main circle, as kind of the meal finishes and everyone kind of breaks out into their own chats, Matilda leans over to Clegy and says, I think I overheard something that maybe I wasn't supposed to. What's this about Letty being a thief and a smuggler? Letty, take your 2 experience points, give one to somebody else.
I'll give one to Mazia for her absolute nonchalance in the face of like involuntary brain surgery.
A smuggler and a thief.
Yeah, she said it when you were talking to Merrin earlier.
Yes, I mean, Letty does have a history. That is true, and she was apparently a smuggler and a thief. But my understanding is it was a long time ago.
It's because she's been in prison ever since.
For a whole decade.
I 10 years or so, I think, and yeah, so we certainly where I come from, we believe in sort of the rehabilitation process and time, and as you can see, she's an incredibly talented person.
Yeah, you're gonna have to give me a roll.
Convincing enough. Oh my life, what's this going to come
You've
under?
managed to word it in such a way that I'm not going to ask you for a lying roll. This is definitely a persuasion roll.
All right, so social then?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Is it social? Yeah, it's social.
Yeah, you mentioned the word rehabilitation, which turns it from not a lie into, or a lie into not a lie. That's the click in my head.
And my free level of effort for it as well, please.
Oh yeah.
So that's 2 assets, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a 9.
So you trust her, do you?
I'm not going to lie to you. When I first met her, I was very doubtful about her and her past. But as you've seen yourself, she has incredible skills and talent, and actually I do believe that generally her heart is in the right place. Sometimes her methods are a little unusual, but she does care about people, and she's demonstrated that time and time again since, well, since we've been on this journey.
That makes sense. I haven't spotted anything missing, but you think
Honestly,
you should have mentioned this earlier?
I do believe that if it's in her past, it's in her past, and I appreciate your point of view as obviously a merchant and a trader, and the amount of trust and faith you've put into us, bringing us on this trip with you. But like I say, from my point of view, these things happened 10 years ago, and I have been diligent, I hope, about making sure that she abides by her rehabilitation goals.
Okay. Thank you for assuaging some of the worry.
Well, as I said, I truly believe that she does care about people at heart. Doesn't always show it, obviously, but I truly believe she would not steal from you or me or anyone here.
I'll be keeping a closer eye. But I mean, first of all, task at hand. Well, task. And yeah, you go back to sitting and chatting about small things.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is there any danger of the Ica pooling and becoming a problem?
It seems to be what's the word? Soaking into the sand
Okay.
at the moment. And actually, by this point, the gazers have made quite significant progress on sealing up these gaps. So there's actually not even that many drips left.
I think this is a good thing.
We'll find out.
Blocking the pores of a great.
Yep.
Let's hope it's pause. Let's hope it's pause.
So yeah, the time drags on. It drags on and on and on.
Is there
Until
any
you start to get hungry
way
again.
of going? There's a partially crushed caravan, right?
Yeah.
Is there any way of going into the partially crushed caravan and up to the front of the crushed caravan? Is there any part of it outside of the thing?
No, it is all inside. It's just the
okay.
the roof been pushed down.
Okay.
Did you say it was broken in that it couldn't be moved because the wheels are broken or something?
The wheels are broken, but it does have the hovering thing underneath it, so you could move it. But at the moment, it is wedged in, like, between the sand and the roof.
Yeah, we've got nowhere to move it to anyway at the moment. So,
Fiji is at this point getting slightly desperate about trying to keep people's mood up, and just goes to the truth. Do you know what? Do any of you have a party trick? And he's gonna. I've got one. I don't do this very often, but let me show you. And what he's going to do is something called a face morph. So he can alter his features and coloration for an hour. It's 2+ intellect, so I can do it for free, presumably. It doesn't. It only affects my face, not the rest of my body. And so And so Kliji is going to take on Mazir's face because obviously Mazir's like off meditating somewhere. So Kliji like sort of concentrates and you can see like the sort of mesh skin that he has sort of suddenly take on this color and actually look more like human skin, which is bizarre to behold. And yes, his head sort of changes shape in slight ways, like his eyes seem to move. His nose actually becomes human rather than this sort of very metallic, sort of robotic type nose. And suddenly you're looking at Mazir's face and hair. Where that came from, nobody knows. But it's obviously kliji underneath. Like you can still see the blue skin at sort of at the chest and and down his legs, and he's still obviously wearing his wonderful traveling kilt. And he's like he looks like the person. He definitely doesn't sound like Mazir though, but he tries to do like this sort of clicking of the fingers to sort of light up and pretends that he's made the lights up in on the ceiling glow or something.
Now that is a trick. Aldo stands up and may I? Reaching out a hand towards your face.
Indeed, just carry on. It's
just
I know
fingers
it's
to the
slightly
side of your
bizarre.
face. What does he feel?
So it does actually feel like skin, but he can feel the very sort of fine mesh underneath. So it is almost like just like one very superficial layer of sort of skin cells, enough that sort of filled in, but he can feel like the mesh and the structure underneath. And like where things have looked like they've moved, it is actually the mesh that has moved. It's not like the bony structure underneath, if that makes sense, or doesn't technically have a bony structure, but yeah.
I was gonna say I can juggle, but
I love juggling. No, please. Show me.
He goes to the laid out inventory of the car and finds 3 similarly sized objects. Simple, like 3-ball juggling, but fairly competent. I can't do much more than this, I'm afraid, but it's, I don't know.
Just your hand-eye coordination is superb, I have to say. Let's see.
The sensation.
You must have a.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, go on.
The sensation on your face changes.
Oh.
Your cheek suddenly like feels the air where the other cheek is still covered. And you look around and you see Merrin has kind of reached up to touch your face and pulled back. And you touch and the layer of skin is gone.
He's a weird kid.
Wow. That is quite a trick.
I'm sorry.
Well, don't be sorry. That's amazing. I mean, I'm not even sure how you did that. Trenton. And I'll call Trenton over to sort of...
It starts like reforming as you still keep your thing up, but it just seemed to have suppressed it for a moment, maybe.
That's...
Mary.
Do it again. Do it again.
Yeah, touches, and where he touches, kind of a small radius around his fingers, it disappears.
I'm going to beckon Marin to come with me. I'm going to walk over with him if he comes with me to Mazir.
Yeah.
Are his parents there? Just out of curiosity.
They're watching and they'll follow, but they seem to trust you well enough. So they're paying attention, but...
I just want to try something. It won't have any effect on Marin at all. I was wondering, man, can you touch Mazir. I guess if your back is towards us, or whatever. I'm just going to ask Maren basically to lay his hand on your head.
If you walk into, like, I imagine that Mazir's like sitting in one of the tents.
Okay.
It's a bit creepy because you walk into the tent and she's probably just like sitting on her knees, and she's just looking straight up at the ceiling, and her eyes are open and glowing, but she makes like there's absolutely no recognition of you, or like she's literally just sitting there like staring up at the ceiling.
Okay. In that case, before Marin's outside the tent, I was going to get Mazir. I'm just going to touch you gently on the shoulder.
You get no reaction.
Okay. I'm actually not going to do anything because I don't really know what happens when I disturb someone from their meditation. So I'm going to wait until I see Mazir come out at some point over the next hours.
You already tried disturbing her from a meditation.
Very gently, but I'm not going to like do it more forcefully.
Okay.
Or do it by like removing whatever Numenera stuff that she's doing abruptly.
I'll have
Exactly,
this
yeah.
back.
God, we're a spooky bunch today.
You probably have seen her do this before. That she's not very good at sitting still, and like the only way that she's going to be able to sit still is if she is like physically, like if she is in like full prayer.
Yeah.
So you've probably seen her do this a couple of times, and
I'll let you go through it though and come out of it.
Yeah. And after like an hour or so, you might see that she is definitely still hiding from Clegy. But after like 2 hours or something, you see like the tent flap move very slightly, just as she clearly like readjusts as she's done 2 or 3 hours of that, and she's still bored and her head still hurts.
I'm going to scribble down on a little bit of paper actually and just show you what I propose. I'm just going to show you a page that says I want Maren to touch your head because it may deactivate what's going on.
I'd like you to make an intellect defense roll.
Me?
No, not you, Mazir. As the written words, as you read them, start echoing around.
That's a 13.
13. 13. Take 5 intellect damage
Nice.
as these words echo around your head. Yeah, even reading seems to set it off. You manage to kind of get the spoken words under control, but these reading words you can't, and it's just overwhelming you.
Ow.
Close the book, obviously.
She'll just Mazil will just look at you and like shake her head, as in like, and she'll like shut the book, but she'll nod to the suggestion of Maren. What could go wrong?
Yeah, exactly.
What could make this worse? Let's find out.
So I'll motion you to come outside and just ask Maren to touch your head.
No. She'll motion you to come in to get Maren in here.
Okay. Maren will go in the tent.
Absolutely.
If he's happy with this.
Yeah, if Mazir looks outside, you will see basically the entire camp just circling around the tent, just curious, watching something interesting's happening. George and Matilda, a little worried, but mostly trusting you still.
Yeah, because Mazir's been hanging around with Maren anyway.
Of course.
They know she knows her.
Yeah, they're mostly kind of curious about this thing that Maren seems to be able to do, which they don't seem to have noticed before. But yeah, Maren comes in and signs, "Are you alright for me to do this?" Signing, interestingly, doesn't.
Ooh. Yeah, Mazil will smile and be like, "This guy can stay." But we'll happily let him touch her head.
Yeah, he'll kind of eyes at Trenton and reach out hesitantly, and palm on your forehead, and the echoing stops.
Hooray! Oh,
Yeah, that's fine.
Hello?
this kid! I love this kid!
Marin, you are amazing.
Now I'm even more curious. What would happen if Merrin touched the goo, though?
One thing at a time.
So, Merrin replies to "You're amazing," and he says, "Am I?" When his hand leaves your head, amazing, 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 amazing.
Ah! She'll like grab his hand and be like,
What?
"Nope, you stay." Just give me a second, Merrin. You know, hand on head. It kind of worked.
It's going to be like, what are you doing in there, Trenton, with Merrin and Mazia?
Give me a minute, please. You're trying to. Just give me a minute.
We're gonna have to tell him, aren't we?
We will, but not right now. We're making a break. We're making a breakthrough. It's okay. Okay, we need to transfer Merrin's power somehow so that it's permanent on you, or at least it's some kind of relief.
Can I take a strand of his hair?
You can, pluck a strand of his hair.
I think it's just his fingerprints, isn't it?
Ah.
Yeah, if you pluck a strand of his hair, he'll pull back. And, like...
I would ask him first. I wouldn't just pluck one.
Right, okay, I see.
No, actually, no. The thing is, she absolutely
Yeah,
would just pluck one.
See, I was just happily... That's exactly...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to be nice, and I was like, no.
But yeah, the hand leaves your head, and as soon as someone says something, echoes, even with the strand of hair.
Does it have to be her head, or can you just put a hand on the shoulder?
Hand on the shoulder, and the echoes are still there.
Okay, so it needs to be like this off.
Seems to be very
Okay.
localized to the fingertips.
Okay, Merrin, are you okay to stay here with Mazia for a little bit, just to give her relief of what's going on in her head? I just need to talk to the others, just so they know what's going on. You are doing an amazing job at stopping this whatever this is that's affecting Mazia, affecting your friends. So thank you very much.
Give me a persuasion.
Can I help by, like, smiling?
Yeah, absolutely. Have an asset
Thumbs
for
up.
that.
That is a 14.
Yeah, there'll be a... Okay, if I must.
I will get some gaffer tape and I'm going to tape it. No, I'm joking. Okay, I'm going to go outside very, very briefly, just explain to explain to everybody, because I want at this point I want everybody to watch out where they touch, if they don't touch this thing, because we can't do this to everybody. So yeah, I'm just going to explain to everybody what's going on. There's a health and safety warning.
How long ago did she touch this?
About 3 hours.
3 hours.
We thought it'd pass. Doesn't seem to be passing.
Was it the
so
blue
quickly.
mark? Was that the cause of the blue mark on her arm?
Yes, we thought it was just a mark. There was just a bit of staining.
Oh, well, it makes sense, I guess. So what are you saying is happening to her brain?
This stuff seems to gravitate towards neurons. It probably does other things as well. Maybe does other things to machinery, or to different organic life forms, but to humans, well, to Mazia at least, it's gone to her brain and it's causing some kind of echoing repetition, and it kind of replicates extreme effects of memorization. It could be very useful. The moment, not so useful. Merrin, has a talent. And it's a talent for suppressing Numenera. Possibly just with his fingertips when he touches that area, we don't know yet. But it's currently working. So Merrin is, at the moment, allowing Mazir to hear, to read. How to get it out of her, I don't know. But for the time being, I don't want anybody touching any of this goo. We're lucky we have Merrin here.
Yeah, I remember you saying before to be careful. We've managed to avoid it so far. That shouldn't be too hard.
No,
That's George, by the way.
it's not dripping. It's not like raining down on us. We're just, don't get too curious around it.
These
not
seem
until
to be doing a good job. One seals up the one directly above you.
Perfect. I don't know
So
how long
what
we're
we
going to have to
need-
wait here.
So what we need is something that will replicate what Merrin is doing to Mazia. Is that the caravan with all the oddities and old ciphers in, Matilda, or is that one of the ones outside?
So we spread everything between all the 3 caravans. Just in case something like this happens, we lose a caravan, we don't lose everything. So it'll have some.
Okay, well, lead me to them, I think. Let me see if there's something I can make. Trenton, any ideas how we can adapt something to
If Mazir can hear this,
Yeah.
she will pop out, and she'll just hand over, not looking at Clegy. She'll hand over the essence transfer that she has.
Oh.
She has a level 7 essence transfer cipher, which sounds like it possibly could be adapted to be something useful in this situation. I can't exactly. I think it gives.
Allows one willing character to transfer points from their pools to another character's pool.
Okay.
Yeah, so possibly could be useful. I don't know.
Okay.
I'll start creating some sort of framework. I guess
George
like
hands
some
you
sort of-
the manifest of the stuff that's in that caravan.
Oh, thank you, George.
Okay, Clegy and
What do
I,
you think,
should we
like-
work on that?
Yeah, what do you think? A headband, maybe, or a helmet?
I could go for a helmet.
Headwear plus glove plus connecting wires or something, and we can try different connections and see if that works. At least then Merrin doesn't have to walk around with his hands stuck in his ear's head. At least then they'll have a bit of freedom until it
Mazia,
passes.
how tall are you?
She is. She's probably about average, so about 5'5".
Yeah, so you are having to lean down a little bit.
Yeah.
Uh,
She'd probably once she's gone back in the tent, she's very she is very grateful to Merrin, and so she's probably trying to she's teaching him some fun tricks and stuff, like sitting on the floor next to him, so trying to keep him as entertained, and herself, she's very bored, but showing him some sort of fun light tricks with her her couple of mirrors and stuff. Just trying to entertain him. And
okay, yeah.
if she lights up her finger and he touches that as well, does it turn the light off?
Yeah.
So is it specifically Numenera? Because that light trick it's not necessarily a Numenera trick, as far as I know. Maybe it is.
It's more like any abilities, isn't it?
Yeah.
He could probably walk out into the Iron Storm It's not check.
We could try it. Just
chuck them out. Or I mean, we've thrown enough children into names.
actually,
Or at least
I do
discussed it.
I need to keep this one. You
Yeah,
know, for the moment anyway.
I'd like you to give me a roll to see how well you keep Merrin entertained.
What am I rolling?
It's some kind of intellect roll.
All right. I would like to put in my free free effort.
Yep.
Because I have an edge of 3.
Can I assist? I was gonna maybe dip in with some parlor tricks, so I could assist.
Okay. Yeah. If Mazzy is happy to have Letty in the tent.
Oh yeah, yeah. As long as Merrin is
can always
pressing
sit-
his hand to my head, so it it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Then
I
yeah.
can always sit outside the tent and stuff's moving around inside the tent.
So yeah. Have an assist on that then.
It's an 8.
8. Okay. Yeah. Merrin's, bored kid, but you're at least not boring him to tears.
Nice.
Outside, I would like to know how you're constructing this thing, what you're using, what your intentions are with it.
So I think Kliji is probably doing the structural stuff at the moment. So literally crafting it. So has basically taken as many of the oddities or obviously are not working ciphers as possible and like strip them back to casings and wires and stuff like that, and is working out how to sort of shape it. Maybe actually getting Philo to help him with like heating it and like molding it and things like that. I mean, Philo's got like 6 flippers. He's gonna be potentially useful. I know they're flippers, but like, yeah, to basically trying to like create the helmet, and then I think the glove, he's gonna hope that the caravan has got some like clothing, like a pair of gloves, and then obviously just inset something into the fingertips for like the wires to be set into, and also hopefully to transfer Merrin's power. He is going to ask Letty to do some gravity stuff. Maybe put up not a 10 by 10 shield, but to do something small and see whether he can affect her gravity ability. If that makes sense.
I think Letty can only do a 10 by 10. There's something strange about the way the laws of physics work that requires it to be 10 by 10.
Is there anything else you can do that he? I mean, you could float and see whether he can affect your gravity.
Yeah, I definitely do some like moving stuff that's been sort of gravitationally affected.
Yeah.
Sort of for him to poke if you want. Like while we're entertaining him.
Yeah, little experiments as you're going. So yeah,
let's
floating
like a bunch of stuff, and like he's like with one hand like poking stuff in midair.
And yeah, as he touches it, it does fall out, and then when he lets go, like a second later, it starts floating again. But also interestingly, when he touches your head, it's all of them stop.
Oh, interesting.
Kliji, so I know you've got the essence transfer cipher. Do you have any other named ciphers that you have that you're putting into this?
So I've got the power siphon, which is transferring power from one device to another.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be some sort of presumable power source for it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't quite see how the dimensional trap would help at this point.
If you can bullshit me a reason. So
I
let me explain my
think
thinking behind the numbers here.
Yeah.
This is going to be a difficulty 9 crafting task.
Yeah.
Can I help with this? Because what I want to do to contribute to it is use my understanding of Numenera to try and craft something that will enable gloves that Merrin wears to act at a distance, and that could be, just try and find materials that I've known that may be able to transfer this kind of talent. If I know anything, there's not really Numenera though, is it?
Well, I mean, action at a distance is kind of your thing.
It is, but it's for machines and not for this kind of talent. But
yeah, but
I could use that logic. Yeah, I could use a similar logic to try and figure out what it could be. That might work.
What changes a cipher into a machine? What makes a machine? Sorry, this is very philosophical. What makes a machine, Trenton?
Usually, it's simply something that makes a task easier, I suppose. I suppose the definition of a machine, it's a constructed device which transfers force or amplifies force and makes the task easier. So, or makes an action happen at a distance.
So some ciphers could be machines. Some artifacts could be machines.
So if Kleegi tries and finds, certainly for the glove aspect, things that would effectively be like a little machine, it potentially would allow Trenton to sort of talk to it then, presumably. Trenton, or not?
Yeah, actually, if we had a machine on Mazir's head, and a machine on Merrin's hand, I could definitely make them interact at a distance without touching them. I could absolutely do that. It's getting what's happening in Merrin's hands to be to act through that glove, and I suppose that's what I'm going to work on. I'm going to try different materials so that his actions become the actions of not his talent, but the actions of a machine. Which is kind of what I actually do with my ports and things anyway. So I might be able to do this through electrical machines, understanding Numenera.
Cool.
And
so like
obviously the book My Life at an Odyssey by Roberto Bolina, which is my Bible.
So like I said, starting at a difficulty 9, you're using a essence transfer cipher. Obviously these will destroy the ciphers, just so you're absolutely clear.
I have a cipher that's a small metal disc that goes on a head and makes you feel good.
Yes.
So
okay.
That could be the receiver.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
We're down to a 7.
Power siphon.
Down to a 6.
To power the machines. I'm specialised in crafting Numenera.
I'm specialised in electrical machines. And
what are we down to now?
We're down to a difficulty 2.
Holy crap.
Also have distant activation as a skill, which I can spend an intellect one time.
And I get a free effort because of my edge. Oh my god, we've ranked it!
Yes.
That's
this is
good.
what I like to see. So,
nice.
It's still going to take time. But luckily, you've got a lot of that at the moment.
Hooray!
So, as Letty and Vizier are keeping Merrin occupied and happy, Matilda drops in occasionally, and Alia also. Alia, for most of the time, has actually been kind of lying on her back, drawing the roof above. But yeah, she comes in and chats with Merrin and, tries to keep him there. I guess it's the operative.
Yeah, and also, Mazir is probably happy enough that as long as everyone else leaves the tent, if Merrin does, she's happy to just spend some more time in meditation, just like it's not ideal, but she's gonna give him like breaks.
Hmm.
As like any time that she says that he's getting really bored, she'll let him. She'll sort of like wait, like just like motion everyone to like everyone can leave, including Merrin.
Yeah, absolutely. So
We'll need Merrin to work on the objects, what we're crafting as well, because we'll need to use him presumably to test things.
Yeah, so over the course of like the next 4 hours or so, it takes a long time. This would be a difficulty 9. It's still going to take a long time, even if you reduce the difficulty down to 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, you take apart these ciphers, you install it into gloves. There are problems. There are many problems because his fingers stop Numenera working. So when you put the glove on the first time, it stops. So it's a reworking, a retooling, a refiguring out how to extend using Merrin's own innate powers.
I did have. I mean, this sounds a bit weird.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I was
We're playing
thinking.
Numenera.
I was thinking, like, so Merrin's hand would be in the glove, and I was thinking, what would happen if we put like a very fine layer of like ichor, as like between the glove and the next component, in the hope that because obviously the ichor does something because it's doing something to Mazir, and I'm wondering whether it might sort of amplify it. But obviously I'd have to ask Letty to somehow gravitationally manipulate the ichor onto these things, and like we try it out on like a bitty crappy metal first that would be similar to what it would be touching. Does that make sense? So it's almost like it's like a an electrical
medium
gel type thing. Yeah, that's
like
that's
a
sort
medium
of how
between the power and the cipher.
Yeah. Well, it would. My thought is, would it amplify effectively what Merrin's talent is, and allow that to sort of become, transmissible, if that makes sense?
Do I want Merrin to touch the goo? I don't think I do at the moment.
That's what I'm saying. I'm putting a layer between it, so he's not actually
okay.
physically in contact with it. It would be, yeah. We'd obviously put the glove on, and then yeah.
So you've got glove, layer of goop, glove exoskeleton.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, because this goo is so polymorphic and changing all the time, it does react to Merrin's hand and does kind of slow down, but because it is so active, it seems to actually overcome Merrin's ability. So it can be used to transfer Merrin's ability to somewhere else. This is after a few hours of experimentation and being very careful not to let Merrin actually touch it. Because I remember you saying that.
And getting Letty to do literally everything with the ichor with her gravity and magic abilities.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, what could go wrong with that?
So I guess we've got the same on the other end as well. I guess we have like metal disc, goo, machine transmitting to glove, goo, glove, Merrin. I guess that's the order. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So machines here transmitting, and then the people on the other end.
So, how? Just for aesthetics, several hours later, you have the final two things: a glove and something to go on Mazir's head. What do they look like?
Awful.
So it's sort of helmety. It's basically, it is mainly a headband, which would have been Cleedy's preferred option in the first place. But he's basically crafted sort of like strips over, so it's like a sort of open lattice helmet, if that makes sense. With the disc on her temple side.
Sure.
Yes, it won't look pretty, that's for sure.
Probably a disc connected to a big ugly machine that sticks out as well, like a box with a flashing light on it.
Like
You're gonna
a
have
chicken
to.
wire mesh as well.
Yeah,
She's gonna have to have a chin strap. Yeah, she's gonna have to have a chin strap.
Yes.
No, seriously, to hold it in place. Otherwise, it will just always, the weight of it will always pull it down. Yeah, so she's got some terrible looking chin strap as well.
We've probably taken someone's hat that's got air flaps. You know, big air flaps, and then turn it into it, put chin straps on it, and then taking the top off and then turn it into a helmet. Yeah. So it's wool, it's like alpaca wool, leather chin strap.
Not so nice.
Metal thing. Yeah.
I want this now.
Someone who knows a little bit more about the brain, where is language processed? Because that's where you probably have to put the disc.
I don't know.
Well, it would be frontal, sort of prefrontal. Well, because okay,
Yeah,
it
it's
depends
Brooker's
whether
region, isn't
it's. Yeah, I was going to say it depends whether it's reception or perception, so to speak.
So the memorization is the thing it's doing.
Now,
Specifically
yeah, it will
language.
probably be frontal. It will probably be frontal, prefrontal. So actually, temporal would make sense for where the interaction would be, and presumably it would have quite an electrical spread within the brain anyway.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
because we know it's affecting all neurons.
And this glove, is it big and bulky? Does it have lots of stuff on the outside?
Oh, yeah.
Wires all over it?
Oh, yeah. It's practical. It is the pet jerky of gloves. It works. That's it.
Okay.
I imagine it as like one of those really big, you know, those sort of big, thick gardening gloves. So first of all, it's going to be like 8 sizes too big for Mazia's hand. No, it's Merrin's hand.
Merrin's hand.
Oh yeah, no. So it's going to be a nice big thick one, but obviously we're going to have to sort of bind it to be a bit tighter as such. Yeah, but it won't look pretty, and it will be heavy as well. So he will have to have like strapping all the way to sort of his elbow just to make sure it stays on, I guess.
Yeah.
We've got a small table covered in like shredded bits of other gloves.
Yeah, definitely. No one has gloves anymore. If you've got gloves in your equipment list, you don't anymore. You just got like fingers, and maybe a arm.
And so after the end of these hours and hours of thinking and planning and prototyping and building and rebuilding and rebuilding and rebuilding, you have these 2 artifacts. Well, I guess they're a pair that count as 1 artifact. Merrin slips the glove on and you help him bind it to his arm so it holds. Mazia, you put the crown on, I guess.
Yeah, let's call it a crown.
We're calling it a crown, so not a crown.
And there's a moment of silence.
I'll activate it.
Nothing
Mazia.
seems to happen.
Mazia!
Does it hurt?
It's fine.
It's fine. You've done it.
I want you to roll me a d6 though.
I'm gonna immediately break it.
Because this is an
deactivate
artifact.
it on the first thing.
Touch wood, fingers crossed.
It's a
Other
1.
Fingers crossed.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Which bit gets deactivated? Because bearing in mind it's all made of ciphers.
Neither yet.
Okay.
It will work for 1 day. So when you roll a 1, it works for kind of one extra period of time.
All right.
So you can tell that this thing is so slapdash that you'll have to improve it later, but it will work for a day.
Okay, because I do have a recharge cipher ability now. So if I can recognize so I'm thinking maybe it's like the disc or something in the glove. If I can recognize which component of the cipher is failing, I may be able to recharge it to give us like another day, so to speak.
It would definitely be something in the glove, because something like the goo got pushed out a little too far and something got too close to a finger.
Okay.
So it'll take that recharge cipher. That will give you another day of work. It won't fix the artifact.
Sure.
So we'll deal with that later when we get to it. But for the moment, it's working. This heavy glove and this bulky headpiece are working.
Amazing.
Excellent.
You look great too.
Mazia has absolutely no concerns. She probably hasn't looked at herself in a mirror at all. Since probably even before we got here. So.
And you've got that big curly hair as well. It's gonna get stuck in there. When you try and take it off, there's gonna be lots of little ooh, ah.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
Yeah.
Dinner is ready. And it's slightly better than lunch. Not much, because he's not got tons to work with. All of his nice stuff was in the other carts. But it is filling. And it is hearty. It'll do. It's hard to tell time under here, but it definitely feels like the end of the day.
Mm.
And still no sign of the thing lifting.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
How many days worth of food have we got?
So you've got maybe in this cart, maybe a week's worth.
That's plenty.
Hope it hasn't finished migrating.
We'll be here for months.
Well, nobody really knows why they stop migrating, why they choose a place. So I wouldn't be able to tell you, honestly.
Well, let's hope they haven't chosen here.
Let's hope.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Do we get some sleep? Get a little bit of rest?
Yeah, that seems. Yeah, we'll get the rest of the tent set up, and we'll. Wanders off.
Did I say something a bit anxiety-inducing before bed there? I'm sorry if I've put the kibosh on the good mood that we've got.
No, it's a valid concern. We need to plan for the future. We need to plan for how long we're going to be here. We might need to ration.
Nimchek says, comes over and says, "What would be useful to you for me to be tomorrow? Smart or strong or fast? Would anything particularly be useful to you?"
I would imagine that we're going to need some strength tomorrow to get all of this stuff out, to move this caravan and to get on the road again. So I would say a bit of muscle tomorrow would be very handy. Don't know what everybody else thinks.
Muscle.
Sounds good to me.
I can do
And
muscle.
if the Titan does move and Numenera comes to claim what it thinks is its rightful property, we might need some defending.
Ah, right. Absolutely. I will. Yes. Walks a little distance away and starts meditating in the way you have seen them do many a time. But yeah, bedtime. You go to sleep in the dark and you wake up in the dark. Nothing has changed overnight.
Can we restore our points?
You can restore your points. Sleeping in the headset is uncomfortable, though.
Yeah, she might have taken it off, and just sort of like wrapped like a lots and lots of like a cloth around her head, sort of like pressing something against her ears, because she doesn't want to make Merrin sleep in the glove, either.
Fair, yeah. Merrin will. Yeah.
So yeah, she'll tell him to take it off, and yeah, she'll just sort of do as much as she can to reduce any noise coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, overnight, no real words kind of make their way into your head, and in the morning you reset, and you've still got like 20 hours or something of this thing before you have to charge it up again or fix it, or yeah.
I'll be fine.
Quick question. Is there any way to? Is there any? Are there no gaps under the steel that it's?
The shell like solidly slid
into
down into the sand a bit. You can see the legs actually overnight seem to have pulled up, and now it's resting only on its shell.
Might be some digging to do.
Yeah, I think so. I think we should at least have a look what's going on out there.
I've got a controlled blanking nodule, which means I can teleport, but someone's going to have to hit me because it only works when I take damage.
Shotgun.
Now hold on. I think there's something in the human rights course about treating a prisoner like this.
So, Letty, are you saying that I'm really the only person in this group that can do that, given that I'm not involved in your...
Sorry. I knew about the thief and the prisoner.
Oh, did you not? Were you not aware?
I'm gonna go tapping on the shell. I'm just gonna walk away tapping on the shell.
No, I was assured that you were rehabilitated. I assumed that meant that you were out, done.
Mazir's gonna like tap her little tap the like little what words are hard, the like anklet thing on Letty, that like what is the word, what am I looking for, like the
ankle bracelet, yeah.
Ankle bracelet, yeah. Ankle bracelet, that's fine.
Anklet, yeah, it works.
Be like, yep, can't get too far away from me, probably.
I'm in what they call indenture.
Yeah, head in hands.
But legally it doesn't apply here, I'm pretty sure, because it's from Vatica specific. Well, Ancuin generally.
Right.
I was trusted enough by the present authorities to go out on missions, and that's how I came out here.
We'll talk about this later. Goes back and starts packing up the caravan.
Someone's been talking. Clegy mentioned that I've been a thief. I've not been hiding it, but...
Gigi's sorry. Gigi was obviously doing other things when that conversation was taken. Sorry, Letty.
Have you been having a conversation with our hosts here about my nature vis-a-vis?
I have indeed, mainly because Matilda overheard you quite loudly say, apparently, that you're a thief and a smuggler. So I felt that some sort of explanation was required.
Very kind of you to say I'm rehabilitated.
Well, actually, I honestly believe you are.
Oh,
Thank you.
now's the time to strike.
Now, so we're
Yeah.
still under a shell. What's the plan?
Trenton has been tapping on the shell from the outside.
Mhm.
You can't hear any wind anymore. Before, when you got a bit close to the shell, you could hear like the tail of the wind going past. But this morning doesn't seem to be any sound even at all outside. What were you looking for when you were tapping the shell?
Apart from relief from the conversation.
Exactly.
If it was just relief for the conversation, absolutely.
It was. I don't think I'd really be looking for anything.
Fair enough.
I assume that, like, I'm not going to break through it. It's not going to be a secret door.
Hmm.
So, no, I think it was just relief from the conversation, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I do like the idea of digging under, and creating some kind of like little periscope. But I don't know how long that will take. But yeah, tunneling down might be actually quite handy. But it's sand. You can't tunnel in sand. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about this.
You could, depending on how you could tunnel, like a little bit, and sort of like then implement a wall of force or something that will sort of like keep the sand perhaps in one place, using
using stuff.
using Letty's ability to sort of.
Yeah, I've got a combination of abilities that could be helpful that would probably require me to spend a lot of effort to make work.
Possibly.
Well, I think we can still have more of a rest afterwards.
Sure. Should we get started then? What's the plan? I've got hedge magic. I can clear a small area. I've got the barriers I can make to sort of keep stuff out. That'll cost me a bit in, my endurance to keep both of those up at the same time. I'll need a lot of help. I feel like.
Do we have enough mirrors that I can make a little rudimentary periscope?
Yeah, I would think so.
Basically, it needs to go along and then lift up so that it sticks out the sun. It just needs to look up, just to see if there's, something going on there. It doesn't need to be anything fancy at all.
Sure.
Just 4 mirrors, I think, and some tubes. So I'll make one of those. So as long as we can get down far enough to clear the shell, and then just
give me a little crafting roll then. I think difficulty 3.
I will put a level of insect in this because I am going to be trying.
Difficulty 2.
There's a 10.
10. Yeah. So a bit of tubing, a bit of one mirror that you have to like score in 4 and crack.
Yeah.
Aldo winces at that because it's his mirror.
It's your new one, Aldo. Promise.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
I guess me and Nimchek will be doing the digging. Then.
Okay. Yeah. Have a might. 2 assets from Nimchek helping. Because Nimchek is strong today.
Yay. What level am I looking for?
Oh, sorry. So you're just digging for the periscope, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Difficulty 3. So comes down to a 1.
Yeah. It's a 16.
Yeah. Between the two of you, you displace enough sand to kind of push this periscope down, under, and up and out. And yeah, as you twist a little gear to move the head around, you can see the carts to the left. And as you turn to the right, this side you can't actually see Undera, but you can see the half a dozen or so Dream Titans just set in the ground, all of them exactly the same, not moving, legs retracted.
No sign of an iron wind.
No sign of an iron wind.
And is that how they looked? Oh, we didn't see them when they were still before, did they? Did we?
No, you've only seen them moving. Luckily,
Well-
the way you described the side you pushed the carts out, you pushed them in the opposite direction of Undera. So you've got the big thing between the carts and Undera.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah, that's useful.
that's lucky. Otherwise, they'd have stripped those carts by now.
Yeah, if you'd have pushed it out the side you came in, then yeah, Undera would have seen it.
So
Do they
you
know
think
we're
it's
under
safe-
here?
Who
Guess
knows?
not.
It looks like the carts are intact. There's a few corners of the cart that are a different material now, like they've solidified into metal and glass, but it looks like the wind just skimmed them instead of taking them entirely.
Does it look safe now, Trenton?
I can't see any iron wind. I can't see Undera either. But all the Dream Titans are there. The carts are there. I think it's safe. It really doesn't. It looks safe. It sounds safe.
Well,
Either we
the
can-
rest of the Dream Titans standing.
No, they're all like this. They're all still sat down.
I'm going to ask Matilda. So, when do Dream Titans like park up for, the rest of the year? What do they
It's-
look like? Like,
From what I heard, they just sat down, honestly, like just stopped moving.
Right.
I would say this seems quite likely that they've set if there's no iron wind anymore.
Okay.
I have two ideas, one possibly following the other.
Do tell.
Oh, Ed,
Mhm.
is this a single living creature?
Yes.
Is it able to understand me?
You don't know. You haven't tried to communicate with it.
That is true. Can I try my command skill? So, through sheer force of will and charisma, you issue a simple command to a single living creature which attempts to carry out your command as its next action. Must be within short range. I think it is.
Yep.
Be able to understand you. I can't make it do direct harm on itself or allies. And it can only do one action.
So you just got to command it to like stand or something.
It's stand up. Sorry,
No.
I haven't got to use many of my skills.
No, this is fantastic. I love this. I'm going to ask you to put in a couple of levels of effort. The first time you try
Okay.
it,
Yeah.
you can tell, like you feel it shift slightly in reaction to you, as if it heard you.
Okay. 2 levels, or do you want me to do 3 levels? Because I can do 3 now. So.
Up to you, and it will be a roll.
Okay. Of course it will be.
It'll be
Do
a
I get an idea of the level?
difficulty
Yes.
7,
Okay.
and effort to reduce the rolls instead of
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'll put in 3 effort. Ooh. she says. She can
Is this a
count.
pleasant social
12 or more.
interaction?
I don't think that applies in this case.
Yeah, I'm just going to have to go with a roll, aren't I? So if I put 3 levels effort in,
We're on level 4 task 12 or more.
okay. Come on, you. 10. Can I have some late inspiration? Oh, I'm really using all the skills today.
Yeah,
Can I
absolutely.
have some late inspiration? So I will
What's the inspiration
use the same
that
thing.
occurs
Yeah.
to you?
I realise that I'm probably projecting my voice in the wrong direction. And actually what I should be doing, rather than like just going straight up where we are, because it's as you said, it's a tetrahedron, I should be sort of aiming it more for like the middle, and where I suppose I think it's like eye and brain is, if that makes sense. I guess it has a brain. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. May
right,
I make a
so-
suggestion?
Yes.
Instead of just shouting up at it, you get up against the shell and start and pass it through the shell. The shell reverberates with your voice.
I will do. And I'll ask Nimchek to help with like a little, encouraging shove.
A little
if
deadlift.
That's okay.
Just
Yes. Oh, God. Poor Nimchek. Okay, so
happy to help.
that'll give me an extra asset. I'll have to use the same 3 effort.
yeah, 9 or more.
Okay, let's choose a different one. Come on, you. Oh, God, it's a 5. Fails.
Can I give you some XP to re-roll that?
Don't think I can't
can you
use
not?
my late inspiration again.
No, but XP to re-roll you can do.
Oh well, I'll re-roll then because I've got XP myself. That's fine.
So, sorry, is Rox using XP or are you, Helen?
I'm going to use mine.
Cool.
That's all right. Yeah. Oh come on, it's a 6. I'm saying.
Unfortunately, no. It seems to understand you, but you don't have the necessary gravitas to actually command it. It is such a huge, ancient being that it is so set in its ways. It walks the same pattern for 20 years in a loop. It's not going to stand up because you asked it to, unfortunately. It was close, though.
Okay, so that was idea 1. I guess idea 2 is dig our way out.
Yep.
Yeah. Letty sort of squares her shoulders, gets down on her knees, puts her head down against the sand, and then the sand sort of by the edge of the shell starts pouring upwards, as if it's sort of like coming down like a hill or something.
Cool.
And she's like, right, everyone start digging. I'm gonna need some help.
Everyone mucks in. I'm going to ask for might rolls from everyone. Apart from Letty, because you're doing your intellect stuff, spend your points as you would need to do this.
15
Sure.
from
15's great.
Weakling Trenton.
14.
14 is also great.
Fiji, having failed, is putting 3 levels of bloody effort into this might roll. I'll tell you
Blimey.
that. And is 11.
11, okay. With all of those rolls, with everyone helping, with Aldo and George putting their backs into it, as well as Nimchek kind of leading the dig. Letty, are you putting the walls up?
Yeah, I'm just totaling up how much that costs.
Yeah. The shimmering, scintillating walls, you start to uncover. You set them in the sand and start to uncover them, making this tunnel which you could squeeze the cart through. Roads leads the Calyptor out first, ties them to the carts outside, and takes one to pull the cart that's inside, sets it hovering, and it's scraping against the roof the whole way. There's not much to be done about it, but it does, with a squeeze, get out.
Oh.
The rest of you follow, and it's sunlight. Haven't seen sunlight for over 24 hours. It's a bit... definitely blinking in the light as you step out, and hook up all of the carts to the Calyptor, and very carefully move in a direct line away from Numenera, keeping the Dream Titans between you the whole way, completely unknown to Numenera, and you move on with your journey.
Laden up with goo.
Laden up with goo.
Goo. We've got so
Not
much
as
goo.
good.
Yes, there were. I guess there would be a couple of trips bringing boxes out and fitting them in the carts.
Amazing.
But yeah,
Cool.
that is where we're going to end this evening's session. How was that?
That was great.
You,
I just hope Mazia's going to be okay.
Ah, she'll be fine, probably.
so if you'd have got the thing to stand up, you would have had to make rolls to get everything and go quickly before they noticed.
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, digging your way out with all of those points spent, with all of that effort put in. Yeah, no, well played.
Thanks, Letty.
Letty's just on top of a cart, like flat out, like she's got a headache.
Join me.
Both of us just like lying there groaning.
Interestingly, I mentioned earlier to these guys that I had 2 lines this whole session was based on. I didn't use those 2 lines at all. You managed to keep me entertained the whole way through. And hopefully I kept you entertained.
That was great.
Always.
That's good.
A bit of a change of pace.
MacGyvering.
Sort of a bottle episode, I guess. But yeah,
How many people get to play with a Dream Titan?
yeah,
get
underneath the
stuck
Dream
under
Titan
a
and
Dream
all.
Titan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, Phile's book is going to write itself.
It really is. It really is. You could
And
sell.
imagine the illustrations if he persuades young Alia Marion Oak to help out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, they're going to be beautiful.
And actually, Alia's drawing of the underside of the Dream Titan, that could be worth immeasurable amounts for all the research
Never
boffins
before
out there.
seen.
Yes. Oh yes, now I feel happy about my decision 2 weeks ago. You threw into doubt immediately afterwards by going, I wouldn't have done that. I was, oh, God.
No, see, the solution I had in my head was literally dig a hole. So this was a much more interesting solution, I'll be honest. You pushed me to make a more interesting session, and I'm very happy you did.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It was more interesting, I think, than the one I would have written otherwise.
Do you bank on us touching the goo?
I mean, I had a vague idea.
Mazir was always going to touch the goo. Like, we all knew that Mazir was eventually going to touch the goo.
I had a GM intrusion in my head for goo dripping on someone.
Okay.
So some goo was going to happen at some point. Luckily,
Mazir just
you did it for
go
me.
into her own hands.
Yeah.
But yes.
Who needs a GM intrusion when you have Mazir?
XP for collecting goo. Sorry.
Hey.
First of all, XP for escaping the Iron Wind.
Yes.
XP for
1
collecting
XP.
goo.
2
Yes.
XP.
XP for building that difficulty 9 artifact to suppress the effects of the goo.
3 XP.
Difficult experience for escaping the Dream Titan.
Wow.
4 XP.
Episode.
Oh,
4 XP
Dang.
session.
nice.
That's a good one.
That's the most we've had in a session.
Yeah. You
I
did
have
a lot.
many XP now.
Well, if you've got more than 10, you have to spend some.
I do not have more than 10.
Okay. Should spend some anyway.
I should spend some anyway.
Anyway, we are finishing for the tonight because it is 10 past 11.
Oh, gosh.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for playing. It has been a pleasure. It's good to be. Yeah.
Thank you for running.
I'm
Yeah,
glad I
thanks.
decided to run today. It was a close run thing, but I'm glad I decided to run. It's good to see friends.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed our particular brand of chaos, come and join us in the Discord. We have a game started recently, and there'll be more popping up as and when. But also, we chat a lot of shit in there, and it's quite fun. Fridays, as per usual, are the Benefactor. So come and watch. It's seems to be heading towards kind of ending territory. I won't say ending, but territory. That direction. And then Sunday is Lancer. We didn't have it this week, but next week we will. There's only 2 sessions left of Lancer, which means I've got to pull my finger out and do some production stuff. But should be fun. I actually have completely changed my build, so I'm going to be entirely different from what you've seen in any of the previous Lancer games.
Wow.
So that's fun. And I think that is everything we do at the end of a stream. We will probably do a raid. I will figure out who to raid. If you've got a suggestion, shout. But I will sort that out as we go into the end screen. As I thank you all once again for joining us, and join us next week. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.